Hi guys, today we're going to do a tutorial really quick on how to create a public and a private key, how to upload that to your server, and then how to access your server from your computer. So we've been going over this in class, so this is just in case you haven't been able to finish it. This is just a tutorial to help you out. First thing you're going to want to do is download Putty. So you should already have that done. And now what you're going to do is open PuttyGen. So I have it in my recent because I've been doing it in classes and stuff. But if you don't have it in your recent, you just look up Putty. You'll see PuttyGen. Now you're going to have this thing. It's going to be Putty Key Generator. So right now you don't have a key, so you're going to want to generate one. When you click generate, the next thing you're going to want to do is move your mouse around. That's what generates a key. It's cool. It's like a random key. The next thing you're going to want to do is change that key comment. So this is your public key right here, right? You can see public key for pasting onto open SSH. So this is your public key right here. At the very end, you see RSA key and then a bunch of numbers. And that is the same thing as your key comment. So look at this. Change to Joshua Rattel. Just change it to your name. And you can see at the end, it changes to your key comment. So your key comment, you're going to want to remember that. That's like your username. If you ever do forget, that's okay. There is a way to get back to this, and I'll show you right after we save. So you're going to want to save the generated keys right at this bottom part. So you'll save the public key first. I'm just going to use this key exercise folder. It doesn't matter where you save it. You're just going to want to remember where you save it. It's just important to remember where it is. So I'll use key exercise, open it, and save the public key. Public key. I'm going to do the same thing for the private key. Click Save Private Key. You don't need a passphrase. Private keys, the nice thing about them is it's only on your computer. So the only way someone could get a private key is if they were to somehow get on your computer. So you don't need a passphrase. You just click yes. And see, I'm in that same folder already. We'll just call this private key. And now I'll show you how to access this in case you forget what your public key is. So there's two ways to get your public key. You can see I'm in desktop, key exercise, here's my public key, my private key. People like to open their private key right here, but it's not the best way. So you'll see right here, there's a lot of extra stuff. This comment is in a different spot. So using that isn't the best way to get your public key. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to PuttyGen again. And if you ever need to access your private key, you just click load and you'll open that up. And you can see, here's my key comment. This is my public key. So the next step we're going to want to do is go to Google Cloud. So if you guys don't remember how to do that, we'll just do it once more. So in your bar, you'll type in console.cloud.google.com. You're going to want to make sure to sign into your BYUI account. Once you sign into your BYUI account, you're going to want to select a project. So I'm in CIT 171 Fall 1. That's where the server that I'm going to do this is on. Click retry. You're going to want to go to your VM instances. And then you're going to want to find your server. So I created one today. I called it my name test. So I open this server, and there's multiple things we're going to want to do now. The first thing we're going to want to do is click edit. Then you'll scroll down just a little bit. You'll see network interfaces. You'll click on the little edit button and you'll scroll down until you see external IP. For you, it'll say ephemeral, or however you say that. You're going to want to click that and you'll do create IP address. You'll put in a name, whatever you want the name to be. Premium is great, and you click reserve. I already did this, so I'm just going to click the one that I did. You're going to want to click done. And the next thing you're going to want to do is scroll down all the way to the bottom. You see SSH keys, and then down here it says I have one SSH key. So this is something that I did before. I'm just going to delete that. For you, it'll say you have 0 SSH keys. So you'll just click add item. And here it says enter public SSH key. That's just your public key. So you're going to want to go to PuttyGen. You're going to want to load your public key. If you forget how to do that, we'll show you. Just open PuttyGen, click load, click on that private key, and then here's your public key right here. It doesn't show you private key. It's kind of weird because you open up your private key, but it shows you your public key. You're going to copy that whole thing right here. You've done that with the URL and you've put your key in there. You're going to want to save. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is go up back to network interfaces, and you'll see this external IP. You got to make sure it is external. That's important. You'll go to the external IP and you'll copy and paste that external IP. So you just copy it. Make sure you don't get those parentheses. We're going to open Putty, just Putty, not PuttyGen. And this is almost the end of it. So what we're going to want to do is take this external IP that we got from Google Cloud. You're going to want to paste it into your hostname or IP address, and you're going to want to create a session. So save sessions. You can see I have default settings and then system security. Those are my 2 sessions. I'm going to want to create another session. I'm just going to name it test key. It doesn't matter what you name it. And then I'm going to click save. So this is saved. I'm going to scroll down right here. There's connection and then data right under it. I'm going to click on data, and I'm going to click on auto login username. Now this auto login username is going to be the same as your key comment. So you can see right here, Joshua Rattel, that's my key comment. I'm just going to click Joshua Rattel. Make sure it's the same. This is important. This needs to be the same. So if it's not, you're going to have an error. Next thing you're going to want to do is you'll go to SSH, this little plus button, and you're going to scroll down to auth. And you're going to click on auth. That stands for authentication. Now you're going to do browse, and you're going to want to find that private key. It automatically opened me to this folder because I was using it before, but you're just going to want to make sure it's the right folder. So you can see I'm in this PC, desktop, key exercise. So I'm in the right folder. I got the right private key. You're going to open that. And lastly, you're going to want to go back to session and save it. So every time you make a change in Putty, you're just going to want to make sure you save it so that if you ever can't close out of it, it's always saved there. So you go to Putty, and when you have all that done, you just have to click open and you'll be able to get into your server. And that's how you do it. Good luck.